This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
We are grateful to have back Matt Stevens, the founder and CEO of Helios Health and Wellness. And it's going to be another great conversation. Very inspirational. Listen up to you out there because a lot of people out there having trouble losing weight, and a lot of people can empathize with this. But he and his team really have discovered just an amazing routine. It's not just a medication, it's a whole new lifestyle, but he's helping people and really backed by science live that life they want, be the weight they want, and be healthier overall. So, Matt, maybe you could say it best. Let me ask, what do you do specifically?
Yeah, no, you nailed it. So that's what we're here for. We're here to help people achieve the goals that they want when it comes to weight. We know it's not easy. We know it's very life can be very hard to deal with when you're overweight. People don't look at you the same, and a lot of that has to do with our mindset and our growth. Our understanding of how we think of food is different from person to person.
Yeah.
But if I can tell you there's a better way, it's through this medicine. This medicine helps you understand there's a difference between hunger and addiction. And this shuts it off, makes you think of it completely different.
And what medication are we actually talking about for those new timers here today, Matt?
Yes. My apologies.
It's okay.
GLP-1s, semaglutide peptide 1 is the longer name, but it's a drug that has been discovered and approved for weight loss in the early 2021 is when it was approved, but it's been around and in the market for type 2 diabetes. Many of you who struggle with diabetes may have already been introduced to this, but it's a miracle drug, really.
It really is. And now your team, you're all based out of Florida, right? Specifically where?
That's correct. We are north of Orlando. We're in Altamont Springs, Florida.
Okay. And how many years have you been doing this for? And tell me about some of the progress that you're making with this. I know.
Sure. So I've been directly tied with this industry for the last year and a half. Uh, the progress, it's incredible. Just being able to see people change their lives, giving them the hope that they never had before. Making sure that somebody who didn't think they could really walk very well, all of a sudden now they're taking 1.5, 2 mile walks. This is huge. And they're doing it within months after taking this medication.
Oh my gosh, this is fascinating, really. And you told me about some stories last time. We're going to talk more today, but since this is our other show, what did you want to make sure we cover for today?
Well, I just wanted to reiterate again more of what we're doing. So we're trying to help the community. Uh, Whenever I start any business, my focus is on the people. I want to make sure that people understand how much I actually care for the community.
Oh,
We're not just for profit. Yes, we are for profit. That's true. We got to keep the lights on. But with that said, we're even donating to the local shelters. We're in the community. We want to be there for the people to give them hope, to give them a second chance. Uh, I really truly believe in second chances for people who feel like they've lost their way. So that's my philosophy, putting people
mm.
first.
And, let's talk a little bit about how we, your services in particular. It's not just the medication, but it's a whole regimen. I mean, some people are getting this medication from the doctors and they go to the doctor, get their shots, they're off their own, and maybe it's working, but they're not really changing their full lifestyle, right? So this is what makes you different with your programs. And could you
Right.
share a little bit about what you're doing? Because it's, you're offering the support and the
Yeah.
personal guidance of your team and nutrition and all this.
Yes. So again, like many times when you go to either a plastic surgeon or if you go to another wellness clinic, the services are going to be very limited. They're going to offer what they're offering. They're not going to offer more. For here, we want to make sure that we're making deals with local businesses to help support them as well. And in so doing, we turn about and we are able to offer packages that extend our services for the full wellness. Right now, I'm actually in the works of trying to work a deal with the Boston Neuropathic associates. They're here in Orlando. Obviously, they're in Boston. They have 27 locations nationwide. Uh, these are the types of people that I want to get in touch with because there's a lot of psychology that's happening behind being overweight. And if I can say, like I said in the beginning, if I can make it so that your addiction and your hunger cravings are separated and you can actually feel that, you can see it, then now we can start doing some real healing. These are the people that I want to work with. I'm also working with some personal trainers as well. Uh, it can't just be all about taking the shot. It's got to go deeper. It's about giving you the ability to change, but also changing how you think about life.
Oh, yeah. And those are making daily sacrifices and commitments and learning how to eat better, learning how to exercise, learn how to read
Yeah,
nutrition labels. These are all things,
right.
right?
Absolutely. Again, I said it before. I mean, on this medicine, you can lose weight if you don't do anything. But that's not what my goal is for the individual. My goal, my vision for everybody is to think about food differently. Remember what we're doing. We're helping you lose weight, not so that you can go and eat fast food. We're helping you go
Mhm.
and lose weight so that you can see the results, you can get the gratification, and then you can do better for yourself, for your family, for your kids. You can be there for them and see them grow up and see your grandkids grow up. And whatever your goal is, whether that's prolong your business, whether that's you've never done something you haven't thought you could do before, like maybe go run in the Boston Marathon. These are all possibilities, and this is what we want to help you do.
Amazing. And clearly, you're inspired your own weight loss journey. For those that may not know, would you mind just sharing about your struggles and your family struggles with this, which really, makes you empathize and relate to people because this is the reality of a situation. You've tried everything. Could you just share a little bit
Yeah,
of that?
absolutely. So I have always kind of plateaued at around 205 pounds. I really couldn't get below that number, no matter what I did, how I ate, how I exercised, even to the point when I had joined the military. I joined the Michigan Army National Guard. And when I went through basic training, which was the most intensive training that I had uh, in my younger years, they were only able to get me below to a point of 194. I stayed at 194. I mean, yeah, sure, I was lean, I was strong, they looked good, but dang it, I was still my BMI was not in the line, right? It wasn't good. I was still considered part of the fat boy club. I had to get taped. For those who are in the military or know of the military ways, you have to reach a certain height and weight in order to be, within the Army regulations, or any military regulations you have to. But anyway, that it's just it's so depressing to know that you would go out, you would exercise, you would do 2 a days, sometimes 3 a days, and you look great, you'd be strong, but that just wasn't that didn't hold water. It's not okay with the Army. So, but my whole career was like that. 6 years of always being overweight, no matter what I did, no matter how good of a PT I had. It didn't matter. So moving forward, though, I have my family. My family's like always struggled with overweight, right? Uh, my grandparents have been overweight. My parents are
Mm-hmm.
overweight. My sisters. I have the one that's in California. Yeah, she's a stud when it comes to physical fitness, but still, she could lose a few pounds. How? It would be through this medicine. That's how, because she's very strong. She does a lot of workouts. And is a trainer herself. But whatever the reason is, the genetic side, it just won't let go. So, and that brings me to my dad, right? My
Okay.
dad has always been kind of a bigger guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, he was put on he was put on this medicine actually for his diabetes. When he was put on this medicine for his diabetes, the weight just dropped off, and that was huge for me. That made a big difference because I was able to see what this medicine can do. It's not just about weight.
How
It
many
also,
years ago was that your dad actually started this?
My dad has been on this now for going on 8 years.
So this was before we even knew about the weight loss potential, right?
Yes,
That was like in the
right.
beginning where everyone who's on this diabetes medication is
Yes,
now like, hey, we're losing weight, and got it,
right.
got
Yep,
it.
yep. So the medication was, like I said, it was originally approved for type 2 diabetes. And when people went on it, they discovered that they were losing weight. And the hunger control was incredible. They were starting to live a better life because of it. Um, it wasn't just the blood sugar that was being controlled, right? It was more than that, far more than that. And then once you added in a B6 or a B12 in combination, the clarity of your mind was amplified significantly. You had energy you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
And then, so this is the case with my dad. And so I knew about it. And then that's when it was approved, I was able to look further into it. I worked with a doctor down here in Orlando, and
Okay.
then he put me on it. And ever since then, I'm just like, you know what? This there's something here, and it's not just about the medicine. This is game changing. I see the change in my dad. I see the change in the other people that we work with. This is There's no better feeling to see somebody walk through the door who was 300 pounds and is now lost 150. They're half the person they were.
Oh my goodness.
Incredible.
All right. Well, this is exciting work. You're helping so many. What area in particular are you able to do virtual work with people, or is it just in your state?
No, we work with everybody. We're all over the country, really. So we do. This is a telemedicine based clinic, right? We want you to come in. If you're able to come in, we prefer you to come in. Why? Because we can give you that moral support. That there's a difference between talking to somebody over the phone and actually shaking their hand, giving them a pat on the back, giving them a high five. I mean, this is the little things that makes a difference. Uh, we want you to come in so that we can track your progress and show you your progress. We can overlay photos of your progress so you can see it yourself. Of course, if you want to come in and do a telemedicine over the phone, that's perfectly fine. But we won't be able to do those additional services. I mean, as much as I want to shake your hand out in California, it's not going to happen. Not unless you come to Florida or I go out to California. But right now, my practice is here. So, yeah, that's how I like to do things. I like to give people positive reinforcement.
Oh, I love that clarity and I love your energy. And look at that. You're smiling, you're happy, and your clients are too, right? What
Yeah,
would you say the
absolutely.
biggest challenge is, with being an entrepreneur and guiding people in this type of business these days? Are a lot of people misled by other forms of dieting that aren't working, or what would you say?
Yeah, I mean, the competition, there's a lot to choose from, right? The thing is, with this GLP-1 being relatively new for weight loss specifically, you're going to see that a lot of your competition are doctors. I am not a doctor. I just know that this works, and I know that if I collaborate with people,
Yeah.
I can make this huge. It's not about, I don't see that there's success when you isolate yourself or when you say, I can do this by myself. You have to be willing to work with others. That's where the success is. That would be my suggestion to anybody who feels that they can get into this, because
And
that's it.
even though it's
Yeah.
it's a lifestyle program, it's a lifestyle change, right? Let's be honest. But
Yeah.
you have to commit to this for the long run. People don't just go on the medication and stop, right? I mean, have you had people who've done that and then stop the process and come back? It's got to be difficult.
I have. Oh, yes. That's the thing. So I know we mentioned this previously in another session, but I'll mention it here. So GLP-1s are actually produced in your gut naturally. And essentially what we're doing is we are replacing what you are either uh, not producing enough of, or we're boosting your levels because you have grown immunity to it.
Yeah.
And this typically happens over time. This is also why you see many older people, they typically gain weight in their older age, and it's for those reasons. So if we start this medicine, it's a medicine that you have to really continue with. And the reason why you have to continue it is because, again, You're we're supplementing what you lack. And if you go off of it, then you're in a deficit.
Yeah.
So there's no way to reboost that naturally, at least that we know of right now. I'm sure science, give it a few years, it'll probably figure it out. But in the meantime, we can supplement what you are short, right? And as long as you do that, you maintain it. I know it seems really cool because all of a sudden you lost all this weight, you didn't do anything different, you haven't even changed your diet, and you've had McDonald's a lot. That's perfectly okay. But you get off the medicine and it comes right back. It takes about 3 weeks to a month, and you start noticing your cravings come back, the weight comes back, your feelings about how you feel about food change. It's different. You'll see the difference if you go off of it. But yes, I have had several clients that decide, hey, I've lost 50 pounds. This is amazing. I don't need the medicine anymore. Nah, trust me, you need the medicine. And then they come back. They come back usually in about 2.5 months, and then they're just like, well, let's start it up again. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's do this again. It's all right.
Well, I know I love hearing great client testimonials, and there's some on your website. I know we talked about some last week. Here's another one from John. I've tried so many diets, but nothing worked long term. The team at Helios helped me understand my body and guided me with a plan that finally made sense. I've lost 28 pounds and feel amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these people are coming back and they're really getting the results they want. And, you know, let me just ask more about your friendly, supportive team, right? Who else is here to guide you through this and, work with you during the process?
Yeah. So I have a general manager I have hired, right? So she is pretty much on top of all the quality control. She makes sure that your medicines are correct. She makes sure that your medicines are arriving on time and that your guest experience is top notch. I have a receptionist that answers the phone very politely. We're not here for sales. I'm not pushy. If you want the medicine, we're here to offer that. If you want other services, we're here as a resource to help you get that. We also have a clinical team as well that can help you. They're not doctors, but they have worked in the medical field for a while, and they've ranged from nurses to certified medical assistants. If you need help with injections, if you need
Yeah.
help, if you have questions about the medication, we also have the doctors that we can, interview and ask questions. They're always a phone call away too. So if there's ever any issues there or concerns that you'd like to discuss further about GLP-1s or the medication that you would be prescribed, uh, we are very supportive. Whatever you need, our we are top notch. We are right here for you to guide you through this whole process for your journey.
Well, I just love that you're so put together. You're so passionate about this. If someone's out there, maybe doing this just with their doctor, tell them why they should still come to you.
Absolutely. So your doctor uh, will most likely not provide these medicines because it's not covered by insurance. Unfortunately, all the insurance companies really truly think and believe that that's a choice, right? It's not. It's what I said in the beginning. It's how we think of food and how every person thinks of food. It's all different. But if we can shut off certain channels of how we feel or think about food, and we can retrain our brain to think about food differently, we will. Doctors, they're not so much focused on fixing the cause as much as they're fixing the symptom. And there's nothing wrong with that. We need people
Yeah.
like that. But that's the difference. We're here to fix the cause and not the symptom.
Got it. Which, yeah, a lot of people kind of go about that the wrong way. And weight loss. It's got to be difficult. Any other pointers or tips that Helios Health and Wellness, wants to tell our listeners today? Yeah, give us, some more input about the process. People say, does it hurt? Well, hold on. Is it just shots, or can I do pills? And more specifically, is there pills along with the shots? I'm even confused.
Sure, no worries. Yeah, no. Ideally, you want to use an injection. The injection is good for 1 week. When we do prescriptions, it's over a period of 1 month. So you'll get 4 injections over that month. You want to try to inject it the same day of each week. We try not to get too far off track with that. Of course, it's not the end of the world if you miss a day, you go over, it's the 8th day or the 9th day or even the 6th day and it's a little bit early. But the idea is that the injections help make everything much easier to manage. And they're very small. The injection is a 30 gauge needle. It's think of it like those automatic pencils. It's smaller than the lead on the automatic pencils. Very, very tiny. You don't even really feel it. It's like a prick if you're even looking. So that's the injections. But if you are absolutely petrified of shots, yes, we do provide pills. The downside to the pills is it's either every day or every other day, and you have to add that to the list of things you got to do in the morning. And I know for me, that's just one more thing I have to do. I'd rather not.
And, for us out there listening today, it's always hard to get started, to get motivated. For those feeling down, depressed, which I think a lot of people would be, knowing that they can't be the weight they want. They're not at the weight they want. They can't, they've tried, they've failed. What would you say to someone today who's listening to this call?
You know what? It's a struggle, especially when you're stuck in that yo-yo where you lose a few pounds, you gain it back, you try this fad or that diet. This isn't a diet. GLP-1s is not a diet. This is not, you're not changing anything. It's other than the chemicals in your body of adjusting to how you should be thinking or should be feeling in order to live a healthy life and maintain a healthy weight. So, I mean, if you want real results, help is on the way with medication. You have to get your medicine levels right? You got to get your chemical levels right. When somebody is, say, depressed, for example, depression is a condition. It's oftentimes corrected with medication. You can't really correct it by self-thinking. It's not very effective. It might help some people, but those with severe depression, they really need the help. And weight loss, it's no different. It is a problem. It cannot necessarily just be fixed with diet and exercise. There's so many other factors that come into play. So if you are able to find a way to use this medication to get what you need, your life will change.
And how do we get on this bandwagon to start the change, to start the movement?
Yeah. So the best way to do this is get in touch with us. You can either call me. My phone number is 407-550-4141. Email me info@helioshw.com or visit the website. That's helioshw.com.
Got it. Interesting. Well, thank you so much. We will hopefully tune in again soon next week with more information. And I really appreciate your time being here and helping so many with such a struggle that is so hard that you've overcome, you've lived with, you can empathize. It's good to be with someone who can guide you, who's been there. No offense to the skinny nurses that work at the office. Don't know what it's like. No, I have a cousin. I have one side of my family has they have a thyroid issue, so they're very heavy. I was on the other side of them where I got very skinny genes, but my sister has the heavier gene. My cousins, so they've all started this trend, and a lot of them are feeling better. So I can empathize, but not on a full level, but I'm around it enough. Yeah.
Sure.
So God bless you. Congrats on your success and helping others get that journey and get to where they want to be in life. Okay.
Thank you, Jill.
Thank
It
you.
was a
Enjoy
pleasure.
the rest of your day too, hon. Bye-bye.
Thank
Stay
you.
cool.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.